Okay, so you have your own business. You've had quite a bit of success, but you're ready to learn what it's going to take to push your business to the next level. Whether that means more profit for your business, better teamwork among your employees, more time for your golf game, or a solid exit strategy, you need a coach to help guide you from where you are to where you want to be. You need BusinessWhitt. John Witt with BusinessWhitt has been helping business owners like you since the turn of the century, 2000. Through one-on-one coaching sessions and training seminars, BusinessWhitt teaches you simple but effective techniques for managing your time, managing your team/relations, growing your business, or even selling your business. And it's not really rocket science. It's about understanding what's core to every business. First, it's about people. Second, it's about tried and true systems and processes that allow people to become successful. You have goals, and we'll work with you to build a roadmap to accomplish them. BusinessWhitt by John Witt, a Focal Point franchise powered by Brian Tracy.
Good morning, this is John Witt. This is BusinessWhitt, 30 Minutes to Better Business. Our goal here is really multifold in the sense that we're going to try and communicate some information and knowledge that would help you grow your business, understand a little bit more about where you're at today or maybe where you want to go tomorrow. The mission for this whole Google Hangouts thing comes from an article that I read about a year and a half ago in the Orange County Register, and it just talked about the Great Recession and the fact that 7.5 million jobs were lost during the Great Recession, and 50% of those jobs were middle management jobs. Middle management being with a salary of roughly $30,000 to $80,000 per year, and that's really kind of the heartbeat of America. These are the guys that buy cars, they buy houses, they put their kids through college, they support the community. And they really got hammered in the Great Recession. Now a lot of people did, so it wasn't just them. But since then, about 4 million jobs have been recreated. Unfortunately, only 2% of the 4 million jobs, 2%, are middle management jobs. 69% are under $30,000 a year, and 29% are greater than $80,000 a year. And so if you're in that middle management job and you've got a house and a car and a college education that you're paying, what are you supposed to do, right? You've got to go get some training or some skills if you're going to compete for those jobs that are going to pay more than $80,000 a year. By the way, there's a whole lot of other people that are going to be competing for those jobs as well. And as many people did, is they kind of went out and decided to try to earn an income in the meantime to get through the Great Recession. So they hung out a shingle and said, I'm an IT person, I'm going to go do multi-level management, I'm going to do multi-level marketing. They all try to do different things, right? And these are the people that don't have a hard time getting up and going to work. They do it every day. They work long, hard hours. They make commitments, high-end quality type of individual. So the idea here is, how do we take a tool like this, Google Hangouts and Focal Point coaching, and help this really underserved market? The high-end coaching market is pretty expensive and quite unreachable for many in that small business marketplace. And so the idea is, can we find a way to create some knowledge, add some value, give some people an opportunity to get a little bit smarter about some areas maybe of the business that they don't understand or they don't know yet, and can we help them make some progress with a very simple, easy, and maybe free and or very affordable service. So that's the mission behind this Google Hangouts 30 Minutes to Better Business. And we'll start with a little principle that I'm going to show up here on the whiteboard behind me. So when I do that, I'm going to have to switch the camera too. All right, so we got the camera pointed up here, and we're going to talk about something that some people have heard of, but others have not. It's called the sigmoid principle, or the sigmoid curve. Has anybody here heard about the sigmoid curve? Familiar with the sigmoid curve?
Not me.
So, in business and in life, there are cycles. And the sigmoid curve really just talks about the life cycle of a business. And there are 3 phases. And I'm just going to draw a little chart here to maybe help us figure that out. And the first phase is the learn phase, right? So all of those people that got bumped essentially without their consent via the Great Recession ended up in this learning phase, right? And once you learn your new task, your new job, your new business, then we can start to grow. And as with everything, after a period of time, everything starts to decline, right? And they say that the human body is in decline from the day it's born. We grow up, but we're from the first day we're born, we're getting closer and closer to the end, even though it seems like there's quite a bit to go on. So in a business, what does the curve look like? So in this particular case, this is a curve that looks very typical for many businesses. This is called the sigmoid curve. It's really a sine wave. I'm not doing very good at drawing that. And we start at the beginning where we don't have a business and we have an idea, we have a concept, something we want to try to do. And what happens is we have a tendency to approach our friends and our family and our acquaintances, and we talk to them, and they want to support us and they help us. And so we begin to earn a little bit of money, right? And this is what we call the honeymoon phase. Right? The honeymoon phase is that place where you're able to make some money because you've got some friends. Let's say you go into real estate and you sell your mother's house. You just made some money, right? The key to the honeymoon phase is to not go spend it, right? Because notice where this curve is heading afterwards, right? Because at some point, your mom runs out of houses to sell. At some point, you're going to run out of opportunities with friends, neighbors, and acquaintances, and you're going to have to start to build a real business. We have to go reach out into the population, meet new people, and persuade them to purchase your products and services. And so this honeymoon phase, really important, is to take this and to build up the bankroll, to build up the reserves to handle the down curve, right? Now notice that the down curve also looks the same way up here, right? And so there's always got to be a set of reserves that's built up to handle the downward slide, because it happens. We're going to learn there's going to be new products, there's going to be competition. We'll talk about those in just a little bit. All right, so after the honeymoon phase, right, after we burn through all of our friends and they've bought all of our stuff, then we have a tendency to drop down until we learn how to market and sell our business and our products to people that we don't know, right? And right down in here is a place where we call 3 feet from gold, right? Because notice that the revenues are declining, the activity is declining, and this is where we have to keep working and keep grinding to figure out what the solution is for our products and services. Belief plays a role here. We have to believe in our products. We have to believe in the service that we have. And we have to keep working at it, even though we're not necessarily making a whole lot of money or a whole lot of resources in this particular case. There's a point in time, though, that when we continue to get better, we continue to learn, right? We're in the learning phase, that we'll eventually get to that point as we learn and learn and learn each day, where we begin to start to turn it around. And the story that we talk about here is the African farmer who's got a nice little farm in a community, and he is supporting that community, has a nice little living, but they've discovered diamonds in Africa, and he wants to become a diamond miner. So he sells his farm, and he goes off in search of the diamond mine. And it takes him 10 years, can't find the diamond mine, doesn't hit it, doesn't strike it right. He comes back to his village, and he finds the gentleman that he sold his farm to, and he's built this new mansion, and he's got a Rolls Royce in the driveway, and he says, what the heck happened here? And he says, well, we just did a whole bunch of different things to make things better, and it's almost like we found diamonds on this particular farm. And what happened is that particular farmer didn't stick with it and didn't stay with it, and if you shift from place to place to place, you never learn how to become an expert or how to be the best in your particular field, which is often what it takes to demand and command the financial resources of the marketplace. But you stick with it, and eventually you figure out a model and a system that generates consistent revenues. And we have to watch out for this little one right here, and this is called the founder's trap. Right? And the founder's trap is that place where we're out of time from an ability to manage our customers and our services and our products. And so we begin to hire some people. Now, the first few people that you hire, you can watch over and see, but eventually, if you want to get out of the 5 or the 10 employee deal, you want to grow your business even bigger, then you're going to find itself, personally restraining here, because you're not going to be able to oversee every little thing all day long. You're going to have to figure out how do we move forward, grow this business, and add people and still keep track of our products and services so that we can maintain the quality and the standards that we've established for the marketplace. And the key to this is systems and processes, right? So we build in a sales system, we put in a sales process, we put in a marketing system, put in a financial system, so that we can, and then we hire people to manage those systems, and we get the reports that allow us to understand what's going on, what's working, what's not working in our business, tells us which way to spend our time. But the key out of the founder's trap is systems and processes. Ultimately, we end up in a place where we take off, right? And this is where we have to be wary of the Midas touch, right? Where everything turns to gold, right? So everything that we do, we've got money, we're investing, everything we're doing is doing really well. We've got a nice little bankroll. And we have to be careful of watching the marketplace, because things turn, things change. Competition comes along. Technology is a huge game changer these days. And this curve is always right around the corner, right? And if we take a look at this curve, look at this next step here. This is called denial, right? This is when clearly the revenue stream and the growth has changed, but we worry about, we consider it like it's just a blip, it's just a thing it's just a bump in the road, right? It's going to turn around, okay? So quick question for everybody here. Can anybody think of any businesses, even in the near past, that have kind of encountered this denial marker and missed the turning point?
Blockbuster Video.
Blockbuster Video, good one, good one. The one that comes to mind for me is BlackBerry, right? BlackBerry phones, they cornered the market. Well, there was a time 10 years ago where every person in the world had a BlackBerry, right? Now, how many people do you know have a BlackBerry?
Yeah.
I don't think I know anybody.
They were popular among lawyers, the BlackBerry phones.
And the thing there is that they just totally missed the changing boat. Another place that it happened was Swiss watches, right? Digital watches. Digital cameras killed Kodak, right? These are places where everybody thought it was going to be fine, but this new technology, this new thing came along, and it blew them up. And they didn't start to reinvent fast enough, and so essentially denied this activity was happening in the marketplace. Didn't start to reinvent fast enough, and actually ended up back here in the decline phase, right? And this can go all the way down. In fact, I think BlackBerry, which is a RIM product, is now selling for about 3 cents on the dollar from where they were at their peak. Pretty amazing difference in valuation. Now the key is that if you see this, right, can we, as we start to see this, can we take this curve and roll it back up right here, right? Because this is the reinvent button, right? And so, we loved it when things turning to gold, but as soon as we start to see this shift, right, and you can see that the curve isn't on the growth curve isn't on the same path, this is where we have to recognize it, not be in denial, and begin to reinvent. Where do you feel you are in this curve and this cycle today?
Probably, I don't know, I would say honeymoon. I don't know.
Okay, the honeymoon phase, all right. And Winona?
I'm closer to the bottom of the grow, right there, yeah.
Down in here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now, Johnny, you've got your business and everything else. Where do you put yourself in this curve?
I think I'm probably on the way up, right down the founders.
Right down in here?
Yeah.
Same kind of spot?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So understanding where you're at, right? And this is where the active discussion comes in, and where I think we can all kind of participate. Let's start with Debbie, and she says, well, I think we're in the honeymoon phase, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Debbie, we know that this phase might be coming along, right? What is it that you need to do to make this phase as short or simple or painless as possible?
Probably just better marketing strategy. Better marketing strategy. Yeah, can I talk?
Better marketing strategy. Okay, and so when you say better marketing strategy, is this tactics like social media and direct mail, or is
social media?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, social media.
Now that's a delivery system, right? And so you're comfortable with your messaging and what we're going to send out to the marketplace, right? We believe the messaging is going to work, and if we just sent it out, they would come back and be our customers.
Yes, correct.
Okay, and so what are the marketing strategies that you believe you should employ?
Actually, we probably need to redo our website for one, and second, we do have a Facebook page, and we just need, actually, that's what I should be doing, is focusing more on that. Where I'm adding more people, getting people to like the page, because as they like the page, then they can share it with their friends groups that are also their business associates.
All right. And Winona?
I came up here, so I have the quiet for you.
That's really cool. You're back.
Hi, yeah, sorry, I'm not sure. There was a connectivity issue.
Yeah, we lost you for just a second there. All right, so Winona, in terms of where you're at, and you've just said, hey, listen, I think I'm sitting right in here, right? What are the things that you need to do to accelerate this curve faster and more effectively?
Well, I'm pretty sure that I need to have better practices and systems that I'm following that I'm not following today. So I think that's where I need to focus, not on the marketing, but on the daily to-do list.
Okay, so is that more of a time management thing?
I don't know about time management, but more about like knowing what to do to make the best use of my time. So focus on the action. Yes.
Yeah. How do I manage my time? How do I manage my time most effectively?
Right.
Is time management. Because the better we manage our time, the more efficient we're going to be, the more we're going to get done, the more our time supports our goals.
Right. Where I can do the action items that yield the highest profit. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. And so do you know what those action items are? Do you know what those two items are? Or is that the first step?
Yes. So
the first step is figuring out, maybe following the 80-20 rule and figuring out the 20% of your activities that generate the 80% of the return.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so that might be step number one for you in becoming more efficient in managing your day to get to your goals. And so you could build a little system and a process that says these are the things and this is when I'm going to work on it. And that would allow you to make progress a little more effectively and a little faster.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so Johnny, you're part of this. What do you think?
Personally, I have all the marketing strategy out there, whole programs put together. Right now, it's more of just making sure people are enrolling, continue to market, and make sure that people know what I have to offer. So everything's kind of set up. It's just got to be put in. Everything's kind of going in motion, and I think just being persistent and continuing to push things and talk to people and make sure that they're familiar with what I have to offer in terms of the program. So that way we can go up.
So is it more a matter, again, I'm talking about how do we get this done faster, right? Because that's really what we're trying to get at, right? Mm-hmm. Is it more a matter of making sure you allocate enough time every day so that those activities get done, or do we know exactly what activities that we want to get done every single day that allow us to make that progress?
I think it might be a little issue of exactly what I need to do. I mean, again, I have everything set up.
So what's most important? This sounds like a little bit like Winona's concept. What do I need to do today?
Yeah, I
specifically.
mean, it's kind of like programs put together, the marketing is started. Now I need to figure out what can I do to make sure these people are paying attention to what the market or the marketing I'm doing or the enrollment. You know, I mean, what's that middle part to do other than kind of wait for people to register, you know? I mean,
so how are you going to figure that out?
Gotta have to set aside time, or you know, maybe. I mean, we just started the marketing process, so maybe in a couple of days we can figure out if it's working or not, or maybe there's some different things. Looking at other companies and see how they're marketing their product or their program.
So a lot of different ideas, a lot of different concepts. Which ones do you think are most important to start tomorrow?
I think different ways of marketing. Right now, it's pretty much a visual thing in terms of signs, flyers, postcards, social media a little bit, but maybe I can look at some other areas in terms of maybe going to schools or younger child programs, that kind of thing. Hangouts, like Boomers or Little League, stuff like that, where I can reach out to those kind of kids.
So you've kind of come up with some different ideas, and one of the things that I wanted to make sure happens with this activity is that we get everybody thinking, right? Thinking about your business and what you do and what your next thing is going to be, right? Because often we just get into these routine little habits and we just continue doing things the way we've always done them, and we get the results that we've always gotten. So we're talking about trying to get some different results. I just had some funny pop-up in my screen here.
John, your sound is not coming at the same time as the visual, so you look like a really bad Godzilla movie.
Okay. All right, I'll have to work on that. A really bad Godzilla movie.
And I noticed too that it goes when you're on the whiteboard there or the poster, it goes like out of focus and then in focus, out of focus, in focus.
Okay, and when I send you the video copy of this, now this is a private recording, so I'm not making this visible to everybody because I'm really trying to get some feedback first. We can triage that and say, and I can take a look at that and say, hey, how do I make this better or more effective? So from a coaching perspective, kind of swinging back onto that target, the key is, how do we get people? We've communicated some information and some knowledge. How are you going to apply that knowledge? We had a little bit of a discussion about what some of those things are. So what I'd like you to do right now is to get out a pencil and a piece of paper and write down the 3 things that you're going to start doing with this information immediately. Right? Daily activities are the key to our success. And we've talked about some concepts and ideas, but now we have to translate it into that. What actions am I really going to take with this information? So with that, as you're writing that down, the next piece of that is like, who's going to hold you accountable? Who's going to make sure that you actually do these? Because by the way, our brain, we give ourselves a free pass all the time. We say, I didn't feel really well, or wow, this was really important, I had to do that. And a lot of times it's not, right? It's just what we wanted to do. So we make it up. We figure out a way to do what we want instead of often what needs to be done. So the question is, how are you going to hold yourself accountable? How are you going to make sure you focus in on these things that you've done? Because we always give ourselves a free pass. We always come up with a rationalized way of doing what it is that we want to do instead of sometimes what we need to do. And change and doing new things is hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it. So you need some extra kind of accountability. So with that, I want to say thank you for attending the inaugural draft, however we want to call it, 30 Minutes to Better Business by BusinessWhitt. I appreciate it, guys.